Well,
what do you pick to actually put in it?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll challenge you. Let me challenge you.
Okay.
Just create a piano and string layer.
Okay, yeah.
Without, not a preset, but just choose 2 sounds, because I think that's what a lot of people want to do sometimes.
They do. And there's a really good, easy way to do that, actually, which we added with the Kronos 2, which is called Quick Layer and Quick Split. So they're, for exactly the sort of person you're talking about, it's like, I don't know, this is all quite overwhelming. I don't know what to do. So all you have to do is, let's go with our first piano sound we had. So that's our Italian piano. If we want to layer it, all you do is just press Quick Layer.
Oh, right.
And then there are your 2 volumes.
Yeah.
So let's not select that string sound. Let's have something else. Let's have a, let's go into a string category. This one's quite nice.
Oh, that's a nice warm sound, isn't it?
It is really nice. But you'll notice the strings are quite loud.
Yeah.
So and usually when you blend piano strings, you have the strings a bit lower. So we're just going to bring those down.
You know, something I like to do when I do that is to just have the strings sort of stopping around here somewhere, so you get the piano at the top. So have you got key limits and things within this?
Not within this. You'd have to go into combi mode to do that. But
so can you turn that into a combination then?
All you have to do is do right combination.
Right.
And then you're into that world, if you like.
And then that gives you all the extra editing and things that you...
Yeah, and then you can do key zones. You can even do velocity zones as well at that point.
Right, brilliant.
And we'll get into combi mode.
That's very visual, actually, isn't it?
It's really good, yeah. Change the octave here, so you don't have to go into combi mode to do that.
Okay.
And you can flip the modes as well. And you can obviously change the sounds as you need to.
Those volumes, are they automatically assigned in this mode? Or
let's see.
Question.
No, they're not. No, I think this is still mapped to what it was before.
So you write that as a combination, and then then they would be automatically mapped there, wouldn't they?
This controls what this does. So if you put it into timbre track, then that becomes your mixer, which is brilliant as well. So you can do the same thing with split. So you just go split, and you got bass.
Oh, it's good that it chooses something relevant as well.
Yeah, it'll always start with a basic bass sound or a basic string sound, usually on the layer, and then you just go from there.
Great.
Here's another example of how I might use that. So if I go into this, this is one of the Car Pro. This is a beautiful new string sound I've created.
Oh.
And on the wheel here, they've put the volume, so you can do nice little crescendos. So if I wanted to layer that quickly again with something else, it's giving me some extra strings, but I'm going to go choir. So I'll go into the vocal category. So you get some really nice rich sounds.
I mean, those string sounds, they're as good as a soft synth.
They are. That's what really struck me with some of these new ones. They're definitely up there with the best sample libraries you can get now.
Yeah.
There's just so much detail in the sounds. And also sticking with this engine, don't forget the drum sounds. Now, this really cool sound, which when the first Kronos came out, was great because it allowed you to have your direct mic drum kit and also the ambience as well. And then you could kind of blend those as well. So there's your drum sounds. And then on these 2 faders are these 2 mics. Okay. So you can hear just the studio mics, if you like, the really
that's the close-ups.
Mics. Yeah. So really dry sound, very direct, very punchy, and then you've got the mic with a lot more ambience there, and then you just blend the two to taste, really.
And that's only seen, although that's using 2 sounds, it's 1 sound effect as
far as it's that's
concerned.
A really interesting use of these 2 different oscillators.
Yeah.
Instead of using completely different sounds, it's basically the same sound twice, but then different mic placements and the ability to blend those as well.
Is this the HD1 engine?
It is as well.
Right.
Yes. So anything, generally anything sample based will be the HD1 engine.
Okay.
And then the other ones, apart from the piano, I suppose, and the EP.
Yes.
But the other ones are basically modelled. So.
Okay. Cool.
This I have to show you this sound as well, because this is again one of the new sounds, Cairo sounds. So this is a choir, but it's a sample of a phrase. So you can what's good is if you just play it in a kind of normal way where you would just move your voicings a little bit, it just sounds incredibly natural. Just sounds like a real choir.
Amazing.
Yeah. So again, that's one of the new sounds, which is really nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of new sounds, isn't there?
Yeah.
I mean, I've noticed when I was playing through it myself. Actually, all the new sounds are at the far end of all the categories, aren't they?
They are, yes. They all tend to be in the, because with the Kronos 2, we expanded the amount of banks, so we gave you these double letter banks like AA, BB, CC, and a lot of the new sounds within those. If you get a Kronos or if you're trying one out, that's the place to look. This one I love as well. So this is a Car Pro sound again.
Yeah. Single sound again.
Single sound. But
we haven't even started on combinations yet, have we?
I couldn't believe this when I first played this, because I thought this has to be a combi.
Yeah.
Because the amount of detail in this is, well, it's just unbelievable. See what you think. So lots of layers in it, because you can see they're using a lot of velocities to get different sounds. You've got some choir in that as well when you really dig in. So I think people will naturally gravitate to this and start playing sort of all this sort of stuff, which is great. It does sound amazing, but if you lay back a bit and have a listen to some of the layers, it's just incredible. So. So you can kind of take it into all different rounds. It's just
amazing.
From a player's perspective, it's just so beautiful to play.
And that's without layering.
Yeah, that's without layering. So imagine like bringing that into a combo.
Yeah, that really is amazing, isn't it?
With it.
Yeah, wow.
So
should we go to combination mode then?
Yes, I think we should. Yeah. So just press combination, and you're into this mode now. You can see that the screen looks very different. So essentially, what you're looking at there is a stack of 16 of these programs.
Yeah.
In a kind of mixer format. So then you can go in and turn these sounds on and off as you want. You can start using this to control your layers, or as mute switches, which is really useful, or pan. So this then does become like a fully fledged mixer at that point. So what's great about this control surface is kind of multi-function depending on what you want to do with it. So you can even use it to control external stuff as well.
Right, yeah, and people are used to that now with digital mixers in studios and things. They're used to these multi-function
That's right,
mixers.
Exactly. And you can flip your tracks as well. So this is your first 8, then you can just go to your second 8, And you can even, if you're in your sequencer, then you've got your audio tracks as well, same again.
Okay.
So, yeah, just really nicely thought out control surface, really. So let's have a look at some combis. So this is the first one I just wanted to show you. So on my first 3 layers here, we've got some strings.
Okay.
So, and then I've also got my acoustic guitar here. Live, obviously, when you're playing, because you can just bring your sounds in and out and kind of feel your way through what you're doing as well. Or you can split the keyboard, so you can have a sound down the bottom, pad, and then and these combis, that's using it in kind of basic form. But then when you start bringing in Karma into the equation, it becomes very interesting. So just turn on Karma here, play the same thing. These are great sound design tools for creating soundscapes as well. And what people say about combis sometimes is that, oh, I don't want it to do it all for me. I don't want it to play a key and then it will hell breaks loose sort of thing. But the way I tend to use it is you find a combi you like, and then you can dissect that and bring in and out sounds. Strip it down, and then build from there. Yeah. Or even use the Karma for different scenes. So you've got something like that where not much is going on really, but it's almost just like a texture.
Yeah. It's very creative.
It is, yeah. And it also takes it a little bit into arranger territory sometimes when you're using it like that, because you can play chords and then you can play a melody. So yeah, you can kind of use it in that way should you want to. Or you can play it over the whole keyboard and play like a piano, and then it will follow you as well.
Right,
so there's different ways of using it. Or you can just use it to stack up massive sounds. So it sounds like this. So you've got lots of different sounds there. Going all together. And again, here you can choose whether it's layers or whether it's, you know, using things like filter there as well. So a sound like this can be incredibly complex. So using the Karma as well. So you have this really big, nice washy pad. Turn on Karma. Track. lots going on there.
Yeah. It's Korg always make, there's no doubt about it, the best layered combination sounds, and they're musical. Yeah, and they're not just showing off what it can do.
They're always really playable. Yeah. And I think that started, well, it started obviously with the M1, but I think for me, when the Workstation came out, that was the one.
It was.
Where you got sounds like that, and you could just play a chord, and it would just like envelop you. And it just goes on for days, just moving around and just, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's instant song, isn't it?
That's right. It's just inspirational, which is what a keyboard should be.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With smooth sound transitions, it's great as well because it means you can have a sound, and that can be in combi or program mode.
Yeah.
And then you can just switch between it by using the sustain pedal.
Okay.
So for instance, I can have this is called massive pad, so it's just a big Korg pad. And then I can go to my next sound, sustain that one. Another sound.
So the sustain pedal is still holding the pad?
The previous one, yeah.
Wow.
And you need a hell of a lot of processing power to do that, especially for so long.
Yeah.
And you can set in the menus, in the global menu, how long you want that to continue for as well. Whether it's just 5 seconds or 10 seconds or more. So, but live performers just absolutely love that because it means everything is just completely seamless.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And that it's almost like it must have two of everything in it.
Yeah,
to be able to do
that's right. Because it's got one sort of almost lying dormant, ready to go. Using that one, then it switches to that one, but that one's still going.
But if you think how many multi-effects units are being used in a combination, or could be used in a combination at any one time.
It's crazy.
Plus the master effects. Yeah, and all of that holds,
and the polyphony as well. And all of that holds, It is, it's mind-blowing, the power inside. So you can do, obviously, lots and lots of different things with these combinations, from orchestral sounds. So that's just called a slow orchestra, so it's a really nice brass. And again, that's actually a preset, but I actually replaced one of the brass sounds with one of these new sounds. So we've got a really natural brass section here. Plus you've got then the big sort of bombastic orchestral and timpani sound. With all your dynamics, similar to this one, but it's got even more, similar to the one we heard before, but it's got that as part of the elements, but then it's got even more layers as well. So depending on your dynamic, you can bring in different sounds.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
So in the section here where you go into MIDI filter zones, this is what you're talking about earlier. This is where you set up all your zones.
Yep.
And also you can set up as part of that. And also they can be cross-faded, which is nice. So there doesn't have to be a hard stop at the end of a zone.
Which is there a cross-fade parameter in there?
It's called top slope and bottom slope.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you can kind of overlap them, but not in a... you can just overlap them really smoothly.
Yeah.
Which is great for orchestral sounds.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you get a nice kind of smooth transition between different instrument groups. And you've got velocity zones, of course, so you can get different sounds coming at different velocities, depending on your choice. You can choose that, and you can also choose how the weighted action responds to your touch as well, in global as well. So if you, depending on what sort of a player you are, you can change that velocity curve to suit.
Right, and that's done in global.
It's done in global. Because some people, if they're not used to a weighted action, they might find it really hard to put enough pressure down to get that kind of sound, but you can just change the responsiveness in global to do that really easily. So the other part we haven't talked about at all yet is the sequencer.
No.
So really easy to, well, there's basically two ways you can use it. You can use it as a linear sequencer, so you can just start from scratch and then build up your kind of song. Or you can do a quick record, which is great for just capturing that moment of inspiration. So if we just go back to, say, this one we were using before, just as an example. So I just wanted to literally capture that. Just record it.
Yeah.
All you have to do is hold down enter and press record. And it'll say set up to record. Are you sure? Yes.
Do you know, I remember learning that on a Korg X3 training course.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Amazing. And I like the way they've kept it ever since. Amazing.
It set me up with a new song.
Yep.
So all I have to do, that's good memory.
Yeah. That's a good trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, try that again. First of all, you need to turn on these. So gives you 2 bars in. Here we go. So I've recorded that. Now I can listen back. And of course, you've still got that sound which you can play
and
at the top.
It's transferred all the effect. Basically, it's transferred that whole combination into the song mode, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has. It's taken a snapshot of everything that was there. And
effects
put it into
and everything.
Which is great. Plus, anything that you haven't used in terms of channels, which is, in this one's quite a few.
Yeah.
You can just turn those on then and start layering on top.
Adding to it.
Adding to it, which is brilliant. So that's one way of using the sequencer. And you can also see, if you go into track edit, you can see an overview of the whole thing. So your 16 MIDI tracks, your 16 audio tracks. So that's one way you can use it. But you can also use it to build your own songs. So I've put one together here. I actually recorded this and then I've selected different sounds here. Because in the set list, you can actually select which tracks you want to play live as well.
So you can have the sequencer playing in the background, but then be in set list mode to change your sounds over the top.
Which is brilliant, which is a lot of people,
I
don't think have used that so much with the Kronos before. So, which is great, because it also means if you're playing to backing tracks, you can have something in the audio track, just have that playing, and then just have a load of sounds ready to go here. So I'm just going to load in my song now, because I think I forgot to do it before. And now it's ready to go. So all I have to do, make sure I'm in set list, press start, and it'll play back my song, and then I can play my sounds over the top, basically. That's how it's going to work. Here we go.
Amazing.
So there you go.
Yeah. I've never seen setlist mode used with the sequencer running before.
No, it's great. So in the background, if we go into sequencer mode, you'll see it's running there. So let's just run it. And then you can see the tracks. So what I did with this is I recorded, because I needed so many sounds for the live recording.
Yeah.
I recorded it all on the Kronos, but into a DAW, multi-tracked it, and then bounced the stuff that I wasn't going to play back out into an audio track there, and then I'm playing along to that.
Great.
Plus, I've got then the full polyphony and everything I need for the other parts. So, but it's all Kronos sounds. So.
And then when you bounce it as an audio track, did you literally put it through the audio ins on here and press record? Or?
No, all I needed to do was bounce my WAV file, put it on a USB key, and then bring it into this mode. Tell this the tempo I'm working at, which is 85.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Great. So you can import a WAV file straight into the sequencer?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with multi-samples?
No, that's a much simpler process, actually.
Right,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's two ways you can kind of use samples. You can just use long linear samples, or even short samples. So what other people do when they play live, they might want to trigger little loops on the keyboard, or even just sound effects. So you can just bring in WAV files and then make programs out of those, and then assign them a key zone in Combi, and then you're good to go. And you can even plug in one of our NanoPad controllers and play them by pads.
Are they still classed as multi-samples?
They are in that case, yes.
So you just literally import one sample, save it as a multi-sample, then assign it to a key.
Exactly, that's all you do. Right. So that again is fairly simple process.
Yeah, that's people are using that more and more nowadays, even in live situations. Even covers bands are using them for intros. And
intros, and even if you just wanted something simple like a loop, shaker loop or something like that.
Yeah,
or something
wind chime or something.
Yeah, wind chime, just a little odd sound effects. Really useful for that. But
yeah,
it just gives you an idea of just how versatile the Kronos is, but it's equally capable in all these areas. It's an incredible instrument.
It is, and there's, like I said before, there's no need to change what it does. It's just improve it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is what we've done.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, Luke, thank you so much for coming down and showing that to me. I mean, it's
pleasure.
I mean, I've been working around Kronos for years, but you've shown me things there or ways of using it that I didn't realise that you could do, and it just sounds great. I mean, it's got a sparkle about it actually that I found the Nautilus had that actually a brighter sound than some of the keyboards before, and this seems to have it.
Well, they're both from the same DNA, so that's understandable. But it does have a special sound about it, definitely.
It does, but also it's easy to use. So So come down to one of our stores and try Kronos 3, or you can buy online from our website, and of course Bonners do part exchange deals as well. So if you've got any questions about workstations in general, just get in touch with the Bonners store. So Luke, thank you very much for coming down, and thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in our next keyboard demo video.
Bye now.